Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
Finance and economics.
April 1st, 2000 America, New York. America's gas frackers limber up to save Europe. There might be little they can do in the short term.
Finance and economics. April 1st, 2000 America, New York. India grapples with the new realities of the global oil market. The question is how to pay for Russian oil.
Global economy.
March 31st, 11:15 America, New York. Putin issues decree to demand unfriendly countries pay for gas in roubles. Russian president threatens supply disruption unless target nations comply with clear and transparent scheme.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 31st, 11:09 America, New York. Biden to tap strategic oil reserves as crude prices drop. President Biden is expected to use up to 180 million barrels of government oil reserves over the next 6 months to address the rise in energy prices amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the White House said Thursday.
The Library of Economics and Liberty.
March 31st, 11:02 America, New York. Back to gold? This weekend, I am attending a conference that examines the gold standard. Here are my thoughts going into the conference. People occasionally ask me whether it would make sense to go back to the gold standard.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
March 31st, 10:31 America, New York. Bond market suffers worst quarter in decades. The rout has robbed investors of a traditional haven as stocks and many other markets swing sharply.
New York Times Business. March 31st, 10:27 America, New York. This is what happens when globalization breaks down. The story of one shipping container from a factory in China to a warehouse in the United States traces the arc of a global supply chain consumed by trouble. Hagen Walker and his business partner, Anna Barker, scrambled to make sure the plastic toy products made by their company made it to Starkville, Miss. On time.
Daily FX Market News.
March 31st, 10:15 America, New York. Japanese yen technical analysis. USD, JPY. EUR, JPY. GBP, JPY. Yen pairs have snapped back ahead of quarter end. Is this a pullback or a reversal? Key levels remain in play on USD, JPY, EUR, JPY and GBP, JPY.
BBC News. Business.
March 31st, 10:03 America, New York. Russia threatens to stop supplying gas if not paid in rubles. Vladimir Putin signs a decree ordering foreign buyers of Russian gas to open Russian bank accounts. BBC News Business.
March 31st, 10:03 America, New York. Russia threatens to stop supplying gas if not paid in rubles. Vladimir Putin signs a decree ordering foreign buyers of Russian gas to open Russian bank accounts.
Wall Street Journal Markets. March 31st, 10:02 America, New York. Mortgages rates surged to highest since 2018. The average rate for a 30-year fixed-rate loan jumped to 4.67%, Freddie Mac said Thursday. Wall Street Journal Markets.
March 31st, 10 o'clock America, New York. College-related tax deductions or credits. Are you eligible? You might be, but the rules can get tricky. Here is a rundown.
BBC News. Business.
March 31st, 9:20 America, New York. Quadrilla given extra year to evaluate fracking wells. Fracking firm Quadrilla will not have to concrete over controversial shale gas wells near Blackpool.
BBC News Business.
March 31st, 9:20 America, New York. Quadrilla given extra year to evaluate fracking wells. Fracking firm Quadrilla will not have to concrete over controversial shale gas wells near Blackpool.
Daily FX Market News.
March 31st, 9 o'clock America, New York. US dollar on the front foot as US PCE data comes in mixed. US PCE data was mixed Thursday morning in a session that will see markets round out a wild Q1.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 31st, 8:59 America, New York. Jobless claims edge higher amid tight labor market. New applications for unemployment benefits, a proxy for layoffs, rose 14,000 last week, indicating a strong labor market in which employers are holding on to their workers.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 31st, 8:53 America, New York. H&M struggles with Russian closures, surging costs and new COVID-19 disruptions. The Swedish fashion giant said new waves of COVID-19 had resulted in store closures in China and hurt footfall in Germany and Austria, while its decision to stop sales in Russia after the invasion of Ukraine had wiped out a further chunk of revenue.
New York Times Business.
March 31st, 8:13 America, New York. Oil prices tumble on report that Biden will tap emergency oil reserve. The president may announce on Thursday a plan to release reserves of crude daily for 6 months.
Daily FX Market News.
March 31st, 8:08 America, New York. Brent crude oil drops on news of SPR release, OPEC Plus meeting. Brent crude trades lower ahead of today's OPEC meeting, while the U.S. is set to announce its latest and largest SPR release.
New York Times Business. March 31st, 7:52 America, New York. Tips for avoiding online scams. Along with the annual wave of tax-related phishing attempts, fake Ukrainian war relief charities are flooding the internet. Be on the lookout for increased phishing attempts this time of year, like this particularly obvious example.
Digital finance.
March 31st, 7:41 America, New York. Asia fintechs overtaking banks for payment revenues. A survey forecasts APAC payment revenues to reach $250 billion by 2030, but little will go to banks. The post-Asia fintechs overtaking banks for payment revenues appeared first on digital finance.
BBC News. Business.
March 31st, 7:22 America, New York. Energy websites crash in meter readings rush. Suppliers including Shell and EDF say they are working to resolve issues, ahead of a price rise on Friday.
BBC News Business. March 31st, 7:22 America, New York. Energy websites crash in meter readings rush. Suppliers including Shell and EDF say they are working to resolve issues, ahead of a price rise on Friday.